What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, in the recent videos I went over like the year 2 pass, my honest review on it. I also went over like why you shouldn't probably get the new gold and ultimate edition and stuff like that. But in this video I did actually want to talk about the new map expansion. Now we all do know the map expansion is going to be free, which I have to admit the overall map design and stuff like that is absolutely incredible. And this can even stem back from like the beginning of the actual bridge design itself, going all the way over to the big island. I was seeing people saying the actual bridge and stuff like that probably shouldn't have looked like this, but they were probably trying to make it like more unique and stuff like that for the game. So I kind of understand it. But we have like the small islands, and obviously Maui's over here. I have to say, guys, I do love the design of this map so much. I love the roads in it. There are so many great driving roads all over it. The off-roading in this area is so much dang fun. A lot of great off-roading areas. I love these roads here. Like, for example, this area here. You can even do, like, this part, guys. Look at these turns going around the really cool suburbs and stuff like that. We got tunnels. We have really dope off-roading areas going around this way. We moving over there. We have a huge lake that actually somehow fits the map. I think that's the only lake that's over here, though. At least, let me see. Yeah. Then we also have like the big crater over here, guys, which is going to be the one thing that you see like the steam coming from and all that, which actually looks really cool. We also have like the mountain area, so it is a nice mix. You're then going to have like the small cities like the one over here. I guess you could say that's probably like a small town type of area, not really a city. City is probably going to be something like this, which is going to be the main one on the map, though. I do understand apparently there's not a lot of traffic going around in certain places, which I've noticed, but I have been driving around a bit more. You'll actually see traffic here. So I think they are showing up a bit more. But overall, though, I think they absolutely killed Maui, guys. Like, I love it. And with this, though, the reason why you probably saw the butt in the title comes down to something else for me personally, though. If you actually remove something like the Chase Squad update and you don't have it, you are then only going to have the lovely Made in Japan Volume 2 playlist events, which I think are going to be, there's 4 there. Might be 5, 6. Okay, I think there's 6 on the actual map if you remove all of the main Chase Squad stuff. So I would say a lot of players are like, okay, this is really cool, but there's not that many events on the map itself. Like, yeah, you are going to have the rivals and all that, which do spawn in certain areas, like the one here and stuff like that. We have this one. Yeah, you can race them around. It's going to do different locations, so that's pretty dope. But personally, though, guys, I feel like one thing I really want to see from this map, which I do believe in year 2 we will end up seeing it, which is going to be a bigger variety of events for basically many of the classes. Now, you might be wondering, the biggest thing I actually mean by that is no more Street Tier 2 and Hypercar events. I do understand they're going to be very popular, guys, but we need other stuff. I mean, for one, look at around the island for a second, guys. Look at the areas. Imagine the amount of boat races they can have, bruh. We could probably get some new plane races around here, some boat races going in some of these areas. It is absolutely beautiful, so I think it would work so dang well. On top of that, I feel like we can possibly get maybe a racetrack or something around here. Maybe they can add it, kind of like how this one's probably going to be added to the map of actual Oahu here, which you can see this one's probably like added like an addition into the game. Why not add something like that into Maui that's going to be an addition for like Red Bull, which I could see that coming in that season actually. What if they actually had like a huge racetrack anywhere around this island and boom, we have a bunch of racing events and stuff like that, which would be so dope. And then after that, maybe they can add something like a lot of off-road events, guys. I mean, there is so many cool roads. Look at this one here. Like, imagine having some drift roads and stuff like that. That is perfect. Maybe you can have some crazy, like, rallycross events going across all kinds of areas. Like, it could work. And I do feel like this map is laid out perfectly for it. Now, as I did say before, I do understand that this map is going to take time for them to add stuff to it, but I was seeing a lot of people saying the map is beautiful, but it's kind of empty. And in ways, I do actually agree, like, I love it, but I feel like they probably should have added more events into it, because at this rate, I'm probably going to guess and say we're not going to see more races until, what, like, maybe March or something like that when the next season drops, something around there. At least that's my guess anyway. So that means we're going to have more races then, which is going to be a new season unless we get a new playlist in Maui before then, which I don't think I've heard anything about another playlist coming out in the next few months, but do let me know in the comments below if that is a thing. I honestly wouldn't doubt it if we actually get one more playlist before Season 6. I could see it. But do let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below, though, guys. I mean, I have been driving around Maui a bit recently. I'm honestly really enjoying the atmosphere of this map, don't get me wrong. I just really hope they have a lot of plans to add a ton of events to it, because I feel like there is so much potential around it. Also, the other thing I would love to see though is now that we actually have Maui in the game, I do know not everybody is a big fan of endurance races, man, but look, if we actually had a few races being around 20 to 30 minutes, like the bigger races in the Crew 2, for example, wouldn't that actually be really fun though? And you know what though, let me break this down just a tad more. Let's say we actually had a few 25-minute to 30-minute races. Now I do have to admit right now, if we did have those races, I think they have to pay at least 300K though. They have to match something like the Crew 2, like these are going to be long races. You have to make it worth your while, right? I mean, that would be a lot more fun. Of course, make the road races actually usable for like Tier 1 racing, Tier 2 hypercar and all that stuff. That would make a lot of sense. That way you could use anything on it. Like if you wanted to use an Alpha GP on those races, why not go for it? That would be dope. Maybe it can take you around an entire tour of like most of Maui and then all the way like through Oahu, going through different towns, going through different mountain roads. I think that would be so dang fun, man. On the other side of that though, why not add some really long endurance off-road races? And this can also be similar to like the road races we'd have that would be endurance, to where you'd actually explore most of the off-road areas in Maui and then boom, you take the bridge over to Oahu, you explore off-road areas there. It would just be like a fun 20-minute race or something. We did actually have a 20-minute race or so, I think that was actually in Solar Crown, that was pretty dope. And I feel like players would actually love to be able to do events like that. Like imagine being able to have like, oh dude, okay, this is crazy. Imagine having an endurance rally raid event where you go all over the non-roads, all over the islands. Like for example, going over like the volcanoes and stuff like that, going up and down the mountains, exploring some crazy areas on like a rally raid vehicle, right? That would be dope. And then in those races though, you then have to take like the highway across to Oahu, then you go on like another bunch of crazy paths or something. I feel like there are so many things they could do. Imagine having longer endurance races that we do have for Rally Raid, and then we also can do some of those in Rallycross as well on all the dirt roads. I'm telling you guys, Maui has so much potential, man, like it really does. They can legit connect so many races to Oahu and also have so many races in Maui for that matter, which I do feel like I'm also hoping they are going to come. I was seeing a lot of people going, yo, I love the map, like it's dope, but I think a lot of players are probably going to be like, yeah, man, I mean, it's kind of empty though, because I do understand people like driving around, but eventually you're probably going to get bored of Maui though, kind of similar to how people got bored of Oahu. The thing is though, that's not going to necessarily get boring if there's a ton of different races to do everywhere, whether a lot of players can start exploring with like planes or boats or who knows what might be added. They can actually use all kinds of stuff around the new island, mix into Oahu with it, and I feel like the overall gameplay would get so much more variety based into it, which we have seen a lot with the Crew too. Do let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. For the most part though, I 100% admit I'm really loving Maui, man. I love this island, and that is actually why I did want to make this video, because I love the way they designed it. For me though, this is probably going to sound a bit insane, but a friend mentioned it to me. I love the feeling of Maui, like there's something different about it compared to Oahu. I might be crazy, who knows, but I love the atmosphere on this island, and with that I feel like having a bunch of races in there would be so dang amazing. Do let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And also, what are your overall thoughts on Maui and what would you like to see added in Year 2 here in Motorfest?